Whatever. Boom. All right. Man, dang. I don't want to look like I'm freaking crazy. Anyway, welcome to yet another episode of ADQ'S Renaissance. I'm your host with the most, keeping it 100 from coast to coast. Through God I boast. ADQ. It is Tuesday. Yeah, it's Tuesday. I'm tripping. It's June. Try this again. Tuesday. Good Lord. Take 3. Action. It's Tuesday, October the 6th, 2020. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it, even though it's coming to an end. And let me get my hair situation together. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, they trying to do their own thing. There we go. Now we look presentable. Cool. And you know, here we go. I don't like doing public platform type things without my unc. Guy had the power with me. Oh yeah, lifelong Ninja Turtles fan too. Yo, what's up? Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's doing beautiful and everything. Today is going to be an incredible episode. For today, we are going to be chatting it up. I'm going to be chatting up rather with a good friend, lady who is portraying the role of Rachel Codigan in my upcoming production of APRENDER ESPANOL, which is going up when? September. Dang, man. I need to get my months together. November the 6th, 2020. 8 o'clock. YouTube and Facebook. YouTube and Zoom. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get my hair situation. Yeah, there gone. It's like my hair doing its own thing, yo. First of all, hold on. I'm sorry y'all had to hear that, but I have a bit of an allergy situation, which is why, as you all know, I had to get tested for COVID the other day. But praise be to God Almighty. Yes. Yes, praise Him. Praise the Lord. Tamabota ritamabota. Yes, I shut about 100. Woo! That boy ain't got no COVID. Do I look COVID-y to you? No. I look like a blessed, incredible. I look like a blessed, handsome, Nigerian king. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm 5% Nigerian. So praise God, I ain't got COVID. Before we get started again into this here interview with Miss Molina, y'all know me. I like to start every single episode in the word. So let's see. Let's go to Psalm chapter 27, verse 4. Psalm 27, 4. Psalm chapter 27, verse 4. For those of you who are watching this is not a Christian podcast. This is a podcast that's ran by a Christian. Remember that. There's a difference. Psalm 27, verse 4. All right. One thing I ask of the Lord, the thing I seek most, is to live in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, delighting in the Lord's perfections and meditating in His temple. For He will conceal me when troubles come. He will hide me in His sanctuary. He will place me out of reach on a high rock. And I will hold my head high above my enemies who surround me. In His sanctuary, I will offer sacrifices with shouts of joy, singing and praising the Lord with music. Again, I say, praise the Lord. I ain't got COVID. I ain't got COVID. I ain't got COVID. Now, oh dang, yeah, I just threw the Bible. I'm such a heathen. Bad me. So, so, yo, I'm walking around these streets, man. I ain't got no fear. I ain't got no worries. I ain't worried about nothing. I ain't worried about nothing. Because I know you look at these posters, you look at this roof that's over my head, you look at all that I've been through. I know that my Lord will take care of me. I know that He will set a plate. I know that He will set me in a table of great, incredible, high esteemed people, and in the presence of my enemy, He will make my enemies my footstool. You know what I'm saying? He already has been. So why must I fear anything? Why must I fear COVID? Now, if you're out there, if you got COVID, Donald Trump included, may be healed in Jesus' name. There's another scripture that I love where it says, He will make room for you. He will usher you in the presence of the great. That has happened this very evening. Yes, it has. So, you know, my favorite season of the year is spring. So when you have a company that is named after my favorite season of the year, I'm already liking you. Spring Theater. Shout out to Spring Theater. Named after my favorite season of the year. Now, here's why I really gotta give a shout out to Spring Theater. Aaron Dirth and Dan Beckham, they have been on the podcast. Aaron Dirth and Dan Beckham. First of all, Aaron, thank you so much for the non-COVID vibes. They work. Woo! Time my book that read time my book that. Let me stop before someone throw some oil at me through the screen. But now for real, I want to thank Aaron Dirth and Dan Beckham for they have a web show called It's Riley. It goes up every single Tuesday, right? This episode featured me rapping. Yeah, why am I rapping? You know what I'm saying? Everybody know that I don't rap no more. I'm saying, why have I been rapping? Why have I been rapping? You know, hanging out with my man Miss GP and talking with Natman and God King June. What in the world? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, they allow me to rap their theme song, and I greatly appreciate that. Seeing as how I tried to get on the writing team last month and was rejected, you know, that makes me feel great. That makes me feel great. Sometimes when God keeps the door closed, He has a window just waiting for you to go outside and walk in green pastures. So shout out to them, and yo, they plugged Aprende Espanol, which is going up November the 6th at 8 p.m. So nothing but love for Aaron Dirth and Dan Beckham and It's Riley. It's an incredible show. It is a trip. It is funny. It is just, yo, if you watch It's Riley, it's like whatever problems you have going on in life, they're gone for the moment. So shout out to them. Also, for my fellow hip hoppers out there, while we're talking about me rapping, imagine that. Right now, at the bottom of my top 5 is ADQ'S. They're number 5. I feel like it's time that they drop from my top 5, and they are replaced with Little Brother. I love Little Brother. You hear me? Fonte, Big Pooh, Ninth Wonder. Yeah, Ninth Wonder will always be part of Little Brother in my heart. I love Little Brother. Little Brother dropped a whole project last year. ADQ'S ain't dropped Zip Squat since daggone 2005. Or 2006, actually. Yeah. I think I gotta drop Outkast in favor of Little Brother. I mean, Fonte. I mean, they put. I think that prior to them, North Carolina was known for R&B. Jodeci from Charlotte. Anthony Hamilton from Charlotte. Sunshine Anderson from Charlotte. So, and then Pete Pablo came onto the scene representing Greenville. He shouted out Shelby and his joint Raise Up, but Pete Pablo sounded like he was from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Little Brother came through and gave North Carolina a sound. J. Cole, Rhapsody, even the baby stands on the shoulders of Little Brother. So I'm sorry, Outkast. This decision, I did not come to this decision easily, okay? I'm sorry, Outkast. I will forever love you. Thank you for Bombs Over Baghdad. Thank you for Miss Jackson. Thank you for So Fresh, So Clean. Thank you for Rosa Parks. Thank you for Southern Playing Music Cadillac Dad. Long daggone title. Thank you for Speaker Box, The Love Below, the entire joints, all the way from Prototype to Last Call. That's covered both CDs. Outkast, you gotta give me one more. Now I'll put you back in my top 5. But for right now, you are on the 6th man spot. Black Thought, I'm sorry, I love you, but now you're 7th man. I'm sorry. Who is 8th man? Mos Def or Yasin Bey. So, y'all have heard me talk enough. Let me go do something really disgusting real quick, and then we're going to get into this interview. Allergies, man. Allergies. They are the worst. They're the absolute worst. Now, joining us, coming from California, straight out of Cali, you know what I'm saying? She has just recently became legally able to drink. She looked like a straight up teenager. And you know how some teenagers are straight up weird enough to daggone put great dye in their hair. She's one of them people. She is portraying the role of Rachel in Aprender Espanol. She is looking at me like I'm straight up crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Jovita Molina.
Hello, can you hear me?
What?
Can you hear me? I'm using this today because someone's out there watching TV.
Well, yeah, I can hear you. I was just saying what the miss was.
You're a brat.
How are you doing, Jovita?
I'm doing good, but I want to know what you said about me before I came on. Remember I told you I don't like not knowing?
Okay, so I said that you just became legally old enough to drink.
Oh, you did say that. You're so silly.
I said you look like a teenager, like one of them teenagers who's crazy enough to put gray dye in their hair. Let's see.
That is an in thing right now, right? I have a lot of kids stopping me on the street sometimes saying, "Hey, I like your hair. Who did it?" I'm like, the creator.
Your hair looks great.
I think it looks great too, and apparently they do too. Gray is in. Who would have known?
I mean, if you look really close to my beard, I got a little bit of gray going on.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. So how you doing, Jovita?
I'm doing good. I had a trying weekend, as you know, Adrian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say, everybody, 3-legged dogs with no legs, they matter too, okay? 3-legged dogs, all dogs matter.
All dogs, and all dogs go to heaven.
I don't know if I'm going to say all that because some dogs are demon possessed.
But yes, my doggy is injured, and yeah, we have to carry him everywhere and pull him around in a towel, and it's he has to be like that for 8 weeks.
When you first told me about your dog, I first pictured, kind of like a bigger dog, but tiny.
He's not that tiny. Actually, he's very overweight like I am, but hey, our dogs reflect their owners, so
Will
it
someone
happens.
please, will someone please tell this delusional woman that she looks beautiful?
I I'm not saying I don't look good. I'm just saying I'm a full-figured girl. And so is my dog. The vet told me I had to cut his food down like 25% because he is so obese. Poor little guy. He's
Like,
happy.
you know, uh, you know, you know, my mom had like had like four dogs, and three of them had guts. Went to the grave with guts,
Yeah.
and that's probably what slowed them down as they got older. Just you know. Anyway, happy stuff here.
Let's get back to other things.
Um,
So how
so
long have you been doing this podcast?
how long have I been doing this podcast? I just started this year. I started like back in either March or April. I said
So
to
when the
myself,
quarantine started, pretty much.
yeah, I was
Okay.
like, we're in quarantine. My creative juices are running crazy wild. And I've always toyed with the idea of doing a podcast. If you go back to my Facebook feeds over the years, I've done lots of live videos where I share
Hmm.
my thoughts with the world and whatnot. And I thought, why not do a podcast? Podcasts are popping right now. Do it.
Right. They are. Okay. Cool. I'm glad.
And congratulations, you're my 72nd episode.
My 70 what?
You're my 72nd
Oh,
episode.
okay, cool. How often do you do them? Every week or twice a week or
I do them when I feel like it.
okay.
Yeah, some people have like a set schedule. Me, I'm like,
Right.
well, I'm feeling it.
Okay, cool.
And like usually weekly, I try to like put together a theater episode where I round about different theater people to talk theater.
Hmm.
So I was gonna have people join you, but then I thought, but after I'm hearing I'm on vacation, I gotta take care of someone, this, that, and third. I said, you know what? I managed to get the Jovita Molina and the Morgan Flower Child. So I'm like, instead of throwing them both into one episode, I want to present these two domineering theatrical women to the world separately. So,
Nice. Thank you.
so Jovita, one thing about theater here in North Carolina, well, at
Hmm.
least where I'm at, in Winston-Salem and Greensboro, there are people who are Latinx, Hispanic, all that. There are people um who do theater, but they are not even in the minority. They're like in the rarity. You know what I'm saying? Like every
Hmm.
once in a blue moon.
Well,
I
I'll
found,
tell you, it's not you have to, I think, come from a family who really appreciates the arts and stuff like that. I think, anyways. I know in my own family, it was not. My family appreciated the arts, and I was always in some kind of, you know, folklorico dance group or in some kind of music class. But I was never encouraged after a certain age, like, hey, you can go on to be an actress or you can go on to be a singer. You have a great voice, Obita. You could do this. It was always, I always thought, okay, I have to graduate high school, get married, and have kids. That was my job. That's how I was raised. Very strict Catholic, very, very traditional. Um, my sister was the first to go away to college, and she didn't really go away. She just went to the local university, which is in Santa Cruz. So she still lived at home. And my youngest sister, who's about maybe 7 years younger than I am, she also followed those footsteps. So they were the first ones in my whole family to ever get to the university. And but they stayed close to home.
so So what was it? So what was it what was it that led you into the theater? Like what was it that
Well,
pulled you?
um, it was my sister. She's a year younger than I am, and she's like I said, the first one to go to the university, and so she started dancing with a professional dance group, Folklorico, after the university. Um, we all danced all our years until high school, right? We all did the Folklorico dancing. You guys, you know what that is? Are you saying no, Adrian?
I was whispering saying I have no idea.
Folklorico dancing, if you've ever seen it, there's the traditional dresses, the big dresses with the bright ribbons all over it. Those are like, that's a folklorico dance.
Oh.
But there's all kinds. I mean, every state in Mexico has its own typical outfit, right? That they use for their traditional dances. So that's the one that's the most popular, the one from Jalisco. So it has all the colorful ribbons all around it, and the girls' hairs are all braided up with bows all over the place, right? Well, anyways, we did that kind of dancing all the way up until high school. And after high school, of course, I got married and had kids, and my sister went on to go college, and she stopped doing that. So when she finally graduated, she found a local group here in our hometown of Watsonville called Esperanza del Valle, and she auditioned for them and she got in. Okay, so she through that dance troupe that she was in, she went off and they got hired by El Teatro Campesino, which is like 20 minutes from here over the hill, and it's run by the Luis Valdez, the godfather of Chicano theater. He's if you don't know who he is, you should look him up. Um, he's responsible for so many great plays like Zoot Suit, um, um, movies like what's the one that you mentioned the other day? Oh, La Bamba. Um, there's another one that I can't remember right now, but he has some really really great plays that you should look into. Anyway, so he's just like right over the hill from Watsonville. And so her dance group got hired to do the Christmas plays there. And after she did them for a while, she noticed that, okay, they have kids and my sister has kids. And I think it would be good for my nieces and nephews to get involved in this little company here. So she asked me if I could take them to audition. And my youngest daughter is the only one who said, yeah, I want to go. And so we went and we sang a traditional song called the Mañanitas, which is a song you sing for like special occasions like birthdays and things like that. And we got in as part of the ensemble group. So we were just the singers that followed the play around and kind of sang the little songs, right? And once my daughter grew, probably about four years into it, she decided, I don't want to do this anymore. And that's when I said, okay, you're my last kid and you're already going to be graduating from high school pretty much, and what am I going to do? So I said, okay, the next time they have something coming up, I'm going to audition for that, but I'm going to audition for like a speaking role, right? So I did, and I got it. And then after that, I kind of got another role, and then after that I went like to Salinas, which is another town about half an hour from here, and worked with the Western Stage for a while, but I didn't like it there because it was, to me, very um, oppressive and racist. And they would say they're not, because they have their one, their one Hispanic play every year, and they hire the one same director every year, and they do the one play by the same playwright every year. So it's
So there is
yeah.
before you go on, I just wanted to say there is a word for that right there. Tokenism.
Yes.
Please continue.
So I left them. Although I have to say, they did give me one of my most favorite parts that I've ever had, which was in a brand new play about Cesar Chavez. And if you don't know who Cesar Chavez
I
is,
know who Cesar Chavez. I know who Cesar
okay, do
Chavez.
you know who Dolores Huerta is?
Who?
Dolores Huerta.
See, I was feeling good for a second there.
Okay, so Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, they were not married, they were friends. They founded the UFW, which is the flag that you have on over my head for your play,
Our
which is
play. It's
the
our
UFW,
play.
our play, which is the UFW flag. They founded that labor union together. So there was a new play written by a woman out of Chicago, and I can't remember her name right now. Unfortunately, she has passed away, but it was called Let the Eagle Fly. And it was about the life of Cesar Chavez. And I was able to get the role of Dolores Huerta. So she's one of my sheroes, you know. She's still active. She's still very much part of the community, very involved in politics. You know, she has clout. People listen to her. She's very, very famous. So you should know who she is too. Anyway, so that was like that's the only good thing that came out of that whole relationship with the Western stage and Salinas. Other than that, it was not very good.
You know, two questions. Number one, on Thursday, my people, I am going to be on the panel where we're going to be talking about racism in theater and in the world, right? I don't want to harp on race and ethnicity too much, because I could easily say, hey, I'm a black dude named Adrian and I'm talking with a Mexican woman, Mexican or Chicano.
Either way, I mean, I don't like labels, but if you have to label me, it is Chicana. But yeah, but I am Mexican American descent. My father is from Mexico. My mother is from the United States here locally.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a minute. But okay, I'm a black dude. Right now I'm Adrian talking to Jovita. Um, um, but what like I said, I'm gonna be on a panel on Thursday talking about that. Do you mind like sharing some of the a little bit of the details of whatever racism you had to deal with? Because again, where I'm at, there are not many Mexican or Mexican Americans or any Hispanic people who do theater.
Okay, well, okay, with that, I've only experienced it in that theater, I would say. Everything else, I've always done Chicano theater. So after that, I went into San Jose, which is like 45 minutes from here, um, and and worked with a theater, very well-known theater called Teatro Visión out of San Jose. And, you know, just I've stayed with them ever since. So with the Western stage, it was more like if they knew you, you were in and you got special treatment, you got paid. They are a teaching because they're um, linked with the college, the local junior college here in Salinas, and so they are teaching things. So they would make the actor sign up for class, and they would make you pay your. It was just like very like
Kind
they
of like
didn't honor all of the time and all of my experience that I have had with the Teatro Campesino. You know, they still treated you like a student, you know. And I was already older. I was like in my 40s then. And and then there was one time where I got cast because they finally were starting to do a Luis Valdez play called what is it called? See, I'm going blank here. See, I'm old. I tell you, I'm old.
you're not
Anyways,
old.
they did one of his plays and I got cast. I got cast in the part I wanted. And it so happened that the first time that they were going to meet as a cast was the day my son was getting married. And I had advised them of this. I had made them aware I will not be on there on this date. My son is getting married. I paid all my dues. I got all my paperwork in on time because I wanted to be in this play, right? I love this play. Ever since I saw it on PBS, I wanted to be in this play. And I was a young mom, right? So, anyways, I get a call from somebody higher up in the Western stage, and they told me that they had to uncast me. And I'm just like, well, why? And they're like, well, because you can't be here on that first day. And I'm like, but I'm committed to the play every other day after that, right? I'm going to be there. And they said, no, that's our policy. And I'm just like, well, that wasn't your policy when I was in Let the Eagle Fly and you let Christina come in because she was on vacation, right? You let her not come in and she came in afterwards and nothing was said, you know? Why is it some?
Was it the first day? Was it the first day of the show? Or the first day of rehearsal?
No, it was the first day the cast was going to get together to read the script for the very first time.
So they were tripping because you couldn't make it to the first read through.
Right. And so I was just like, okay, screw you.
Their loss, my game.
Yeah. So I just don't even like to talk about them that much, and people know how I feel about them. I badmouth them a lot on Facebook at first, but you can only do so much.
I wonder what are you going to say about me when the Aprende Espanol?
I liked your play, actually. I know. You got a lot of, what is it, slack or whatever for writing it. But
I
I
get
think
a lot of slack, but there were some people who thought that I perpetuated some stereotypes. There's some people who I'm pretty sure there's people who would watch it and hear it and be like, who do I think I am to try to paint a Hispanic Latino household? Who do I think I am trying to do that? I tell you exactly who I think I am.
Who, Adrian? Who do you think you are?
And I tell you exactly. I don't think I'm this. I know I'm this. I'm a creator. And I just explained the things that led to me writing the play. Number one, when Lin-Manuel Miranda mentioned how there are like really, really limited opportunities on stage for Latinos and for Latinx people, right?
Right.
There are very limited opportunities outside West Side Story. When I first heard that, I was like, well, shoot, let me provide opportunity. I mean, I'm not Hispanic, Latino, or none of that, but I love y'all. God, I hope that don't sound racist.
I have a young friend. He's probably around your age as well. He's a playwright. He lives in San Jose, and he is Latino. He identifies, and he doesn't just write plays about his community, LGBT community, Hispanic LGBT community. He writes plays about everything. And he's going to have a reading of one of his plays called, see if I remember this, Acid.
You're not old.
Acid wash or acid something. And it's about the Indian women who got acid thrown on them, right? For whatever reason, whether they didn't want to have relations with a man or whatever, they thought they were too high and mighty. People would throw acid on their face to make them disfigured, right? And he's not Indian from India, he's a Latino from San Jose, but he knows a lot of Indian people, and I guess they helped him out. But he wrote this play many years ago, and it's going to be read finally at a nice theater. So I'm really happy for him. And he's written plays about the Nazis. He's written so many plays about different things, and he's not German and he's not Indian and he's not, what I mean? So I think it's okay. I mean, it's historical fiction kind of thing, it's, I don't know. I felt your play was pretty accurate, The only thing I didn't like or the only thing I misunderstood was my role.
Don't spoil anything.
I thought Rachel was saying she was on drugs because she was trying to cover up the guy was beating her husband was beating her.
That Jovita. You're giving a little too much away.
Oh.
But y'all can get that and more on November 6th, right. 8 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook.
You didn't tell me not to talk about it.
So what?
So you didn't tell me not to talk about it.
Well,
that's a teaser, people. That's a teaser. There's more to Rachel. There's more to Rachel.
But I tell you what made me want to cast you as Rachel. Number one, when we were first going to read through the script, so I could see if you were right for the role, because you came in after another actress. First of all, you were ready to rehearse before I even got there. Before I even got on the call.
I'm
Number
famous for
two,
that.
your energy. I like your energy. Like something about you says I'm commitful. I will commit to this. I'm not flaky, and I'm very dedicated to anything that I do. And I've dealt with flaky actors before that I really have no desire to ever deal with again. Um, and after hearing you read and getting the grasp of who you are as a person, I was like, okay, I was gonna put her in this role, but now I want to put her in this role.
Thank you. I like both the roles. I would have been happy with either one.
So I just want the people who are watching this to know that this actress who has been acting for many how many years have you been acting? So
I was trying to calculate that. I think it's around 17 years now. I think around that many years, maybe 20. I don't. Yeah, I was like
I haven't done
I was like
anything for 2 years.
40s when I started. Yeah.
Okay, so this veteran actress actually sees value and legitimacy and a beautiful story in something that I wrote. I'm giving myself a pat on the back.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard because we are stereotyped a lot as gangbangers, and
We are too.
yeah, it's a difficult thing. I mean, I'm sure I'm sure that, if you could write the ideal play, it wouldn't have that, but
Well, I believe in two writing styles, right? I believe in the real and the accurate that you can relate to. And I believe in just letting your imagination explode. Like I've seen I've seen some friends of mine who write so many plays, and in it, this has been like this hasn't been everybody that I know, but this has been like the usual black play that I've seen, right? Like I said, not everybody, but a lot, but several people who I know. Let's see. Let's see. Um, there's going to be a couple. The couple, the couple, the couple is going to have some trouble for whatever reason. Um, either the mom or either the woman's going to be doing some really bad, horrible, medieval stuff, or the man is, and the man's going to be dark skinned. Um, let's see. Somebody's gonna go to church and find Jesus, and they're gonna pray and believe in God to give them strength to encounter their issue, and along the way, someone's gonna meet a new love. Let's see. That someone's gonna confront that old love in some way. Everybody's gonna live happily ever after.
yeah, unfortunately, I see that too in the movies. Yeah. I watch a
I
lot of
don't do
Netflix.
that, I don't. I like to test the waters. I like to take chances.
Me too.
You do too?
I do too.
When did you take a chance on stage? Tell us the stories. When did you take a chance on stage?
I'm taking a chance on my friend. He's written, like I said, a couple parts, and he always, if it's a play about Latinos, he'll have a part for me. like, because I've supported him so much. He says, I'm always going to have a part for you, Jovita. So I've taken a chance on that. And we're kind of starting our own little theater company called Teatro Capuli. And hopefully it will be, a success. I don't know if it's the
When
time to
is
be starting theater companies, but we're trying.
when is said theater company going to be up and running?
Well, our first performance was supposed to be at the Fringe Festival in San Francisco. I don't know if you guys have Fringe Festivals where you're at.
We do. There's a Fringe Festival here in Greensboro.
Okay. And but it got canceled because of COVID, right? So they promised us that we'd be able to do it the following year. So in 2021, we'll be in the Fringe Festival. Um, Other than that, I mean, we've had a couple of readings of some of his plays, and that's about it. But it's not easy.
Wouldn't it be great if y'all streamed our play on your website?
We don't have a website. Maybe we should.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. It's barely in, like I say, it's barely in the baby stage, the embryo stages.
But it's something.
But it's something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also helped start. Well, I was one of the founding members of an LGBT group in San Jose called Teatro Alebrijes, and I took a chance on that because there were a lot of great creative people there, um, that all identified, right. And I and one other woman were the only straight people in the group. And once they started taking off, um, they found their own actors from that identify, and they're used now. So I'm not called anymore, which is fine because they need that space.
Right. Yeah. 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 Every group has a story that they need to tell, and they also and sometimes depending on the situation, it's best that they're the ones to tell it.
Yeah, right.
Like I can't tell an LGBT QIA story. I can't take myself to that place.
Never say never.
So, but now I can write plenty of romance joints because all I gotta do is just come from my own experience with all the crazy hoo ha he relationships with women I've been through over the years. But anyway, so what are some of your most favorite roles that you've done?
Well, as I said before, Dolores Huerta is like,
Mm-hmm.
that's the pinnacle for me already. And then after that, I was very blessed to have a role, and her name was Chona, and I had her for 5 years with Teatro Visión, and they're playing Macario, and that's an annual Dia de los Muertos play, and it's kind of based on. It was written. It was written by a German man actually, who immigrated to Mexico and fell in love with the culture there. And his name is B. Travin. If you don't know who B. Travin is, you should read some of his books. He's dead, right? Long time ago, but he has some really good books. And one of them is called Macario. And Macario is kind of, oh, excuse me, I gotta get this down, is based on kind of like the Charles Dickens play, I think it is, that white dude. Um, Christmas
You just call Charles Dickens that white dude? Really?
that Christmas story, is that what it's called? Where the spirits come to visit? Is that what it's called? I can't remember.
You are speaking blasphemy right now, ma'am.
Why? Can I say white theater, white dude?
No, because the Christmas Carol is a classic.
Christmas Carol, that's what it is. That's it. Christmas story is the one where I'll shoot your eye out, right?
Yes, yes. Christmas Story is the one where little Ralphie shoots.
Yeah, you're gonna shoot your eye out. Yeah, okay. The Christmas Carol, that's the one. It's kind of based on that kind of thing where Macario, him and his family, they're dying, they're starving, they're like the poorest people in town, and he's just a poor little woodcutter, and he's trying to support his 5 children and his wife. and have food on the table. In Mexico, that was very hard in those days. It was probably pre-revolution. And his biggest wish was to have a turkey all to himself and eat it and not share it with anybody. So I say the place should have been called the Mujer of Macario, which means the woman of Macario, because she had the balls. She went and she stole him a turkey and she cooked it. And she gave it to her husband and she said, go off into the forest and eat, have your wish. We're a little woodcutter and he's trying to support his. And so then he's in the woods and the spirits come to visit him. And his biggest wish was to eat that turkey all by himself, or guess what?
What?
He would die. And so he was visited by the devil. And the devil asked him for just a little piece, and he would give him anything he wanted in the whole wide world. And Macario said, nope, I'm not going to give you anything because you trick people and all this other stuff, right? So then an angel came to visit, and she said, just a little piece. Give me a little piece. Please share with me. And he said, no, everything is yours anyways. How can I share? It would be blasphemy just to give you this little piece, And so she said no to the angel. And the next person who came to visit him was what?
The spirit of death.
La muerte. Yeah. And he said, sure, I'll give you half. Because you know why? Because when you see death, what happens?
You are dead.
You die, yeah. So at least you get a chance to eat at least some of the turkey, right? So yeah. And then the play goes on. The death gives Macario this little healing water, and Macario heals people in the town and becomes rich. But then here comes the Inquisition, and the Inquisition is telling him, "Oh, you're a witch. You're doing witchcraft," and so they try him.
So I'll just say that if I was told that I had to eat an entire turkey or die, I'm dying that day. I don't eat meat.
So yeah, that was my second biggest role was playing Shona in that play. It ever since I read the story as a young person, I loved it, and I always thought, oh, this would make a great play. So when Evelina Fernandez transcribed it into a play, and I found out about it, I am such a chicken. I can't tell you. I mean, when I was young, I was so shy. I couldn't speak on the phone. I couldn't go order my food like at a McDonald's or anything. I would have somebody else go do it for me, right? I'm so shy. Nobody believes that, but that's how I was. I would always have a pillow over me. I would be locked in my room or something. I was so shy, right? And I had never driven to San Jose. And San Jose, to get from Watsonville to San Jose, it's a windy road over a hill, right? And I thought, oh my God, how am I going to do this? I really want to audition for this play. And I did it. I did it. And the rest is history. I was with them for like 6-7 years.
So you were shy?
Very shy.
You are so adorable. I want to hug you right now.
And what helped me overcome the shyness was having kids, of course, because I had to advocate for my kids. And so I have to, and be a role model for my children. So I had to, start talking and start doing things.
I used to be very shy too.
Yeah, I didn't drive until I was like 20 or so.
Well, hey, you got past that and now you're doing it now, right?
Yeah. So those are the two roles that stay with me, that will stay with me. Those are the like. Yeah.
So when I cast Chris Chavez, who was playing your husband in Aprender Espanol.
I don't think I've met Chris yet.
He was yeah, you sure haven't, because on Friday when we were reading, you were handling dog business.
Right.
Well,
yes, I haven't met him yet.
Well, You will. Well, you will, and I'm sure y'all will hit it off because both of y'all label yourselves Chicano. He's Chicano, you're Chicana.
Do you know where is he originally from? North Carolina?
He's in Arizona. See,
Oh,
that's
he's in
been
Arizona. Oh, okay.
see that's been the beauty of this whole COVID Zoom stuff. It has allowed me to connect with you all nationwide. You're
Right.
from, huh?
Internationally.
Yeah, internationally. Luisa is from Mexico.
Right. And I'm involved in another play for the Mexican American Theater. It's going to be like a radio show, I believe. And their actors are from all over also.
Well, Aprender Espanol is going to be a live reading, and then it's going to turn into like a radio show kind of because I'm going to put it on. I'm going to put it on this podcast of which we are conversing on right now.
Mm-hmm.
But the question I was going to ask you when he said that he wants the Chicano flag or he's Chicano. I've heard the phrase Chicano before, but I really have no clue what that is. Please educate me. What is a Chicano?
How do you know more or less how old he is?
Who?
Chris, is that you? Is that his name, Chris?
Yeah, Chris.
Do you know more or less how old he is?
I think he's in his 40s.
Okay. Okay, so the
He's
word
very,
Chicano, the word Chicano,
he's very politically outspoken like you are.
the very first time I ever saw the word Chicano, it was written with a CH. Now they write it with an X, right? To include all genders, right? So CHIANO, right? Chicano, was on a sticker and it had a fist like this. And it was red, white, and green sticker. And it was pasted on my uncle's, I think his reel to reel type of tape recorder type thing. You remember those big reel things they used to have? No, you don't remember. You're too young.
I'm
Anyways,
35.
do you remember what a cassette is? DVD?
Go back to my interview with my friend Nat Man.
Anyway, so
talking about
when I saw that sticker as a little girl, my grandmother says, cochinada. That was cochinada. That means it was no good. That she didn't want me to know what that was, right?
was it the Black Power fist?
It was a Chicano power.
Hold up. Dang, I got my Black Lives Matter mask in here somewhere. You know what? Please.
Anyway, so that's the first time I ever saw that word, right? I didn't know what it meant. She didn't want me to know what it means, right? So I never knew what it meant. But when my sister went off to college and became educated, she in turn started educating me and telling me about the Chicano movement and how she used to see Cesar Chavez would come to the university to speak to them, how we have to boycott grapes, get your kids to do this, read to your kids. I didn't know that. I didn't know I had to read to my kids when they were in my, womb here. I didn't know I had to play music for them. I didn't know all this stuff. And she was the one who told me, do this, do this, do this. And, my first child went off to Berkeley. Berkeley is a very great college here in California, right? And so I did all that, and I did whatever she told me. So she kind of turned me on to what Chicano was. I was just like, Chicano. I just remember my grandmother saying, "No good, no good. It's not good. Don't do that." But to me, it means that you're educated, you're politically active, you're active in your community, you stand up for what's right when you see a wrong, things like that. And the same thing like the Black Panther movement. It's needed, we need it. And a lot of people want to do away with like Mecha. Mecha was a club in the universities that was started for Mexican American youth mostly, but now we have people coming from all over South America, and so they want to feel included, and so they want to change the name Mecha to something else. So there's a whole controversy over that, like, but I think the history that started that whole Mecha Club or the Chicano movement, you know, it, it can't be forgotten. Even if you change it, you still can't forget that root, you know? Just like the Black Panthers, you can't forget that root, you know? It might have evolved into something else, but Black Lives Matter, right? But that root is still there.
No, I can't forget. I can't forget the Black Panthers because the late great Sophie Carmichael, which when he died, his name was Kwame Ture. He was basically the godfather of the Black Panthers.
Well, Angela Davis is a professor right here at the university. She might be retired now, but I've heard her speak several times, and she's amazing. You know who that is, right?
What's her name again?
Angela Davis.
Angela Davis. Do I know Angela?
Okay, okay. You looked at me like, I don't know who that is. I'm like, wait a minute. That's your people. That's your gente.
Yes, I know Angela Davis. I know Asata Shakur.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, like there is a part of me. There's a very revolutionary. Buck the system, burn the system down side of me that I don't show very often. But
maybe it'll come out in one of your plays, or has it? I don't know. I don't know many of your plays. Just this one I'm in.
Well, if you check out my plays, the 3 plays, Apprender Espanol will be the 3rd one that I put up. I've written like 4 or 5 plays so far, but Apprender Espanol will be the 3rd one that I put up.
Okay.
If you check out Time, which is on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. If you check out Battle of the Books, and you continue right along with Apprender Espanol, you will see how I'm not like going straight up revolutionary and whatnot, but I am kind of like bucking the system.
Okay. Good, because we need that. We need that. We can't be kind anymore. It's way overdue. Decades and decades ago, hundreds of years ago, way overdue, you know?
Oh yeah, the system just don't work. I mean, today, me and a friend, we were even talking about. Okay, so my friend that I was talking to, he's socialist, right? I'm not socialist, but there's some social, but there's
right. Some things you like.
Yeah, there's elements of socialism in my thinking.
Right.
I'm kind of like where Martin Luther King was with it, in his last days. So I asked him. Because I want to know, is he voting for Trump or is he voting for Biden? And he said he'd rather not vote for either.
Right.
And we both agree, shoot, the system just need to be burnt down, dismantled at its core, and start fresh.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. But I don't know. We just need somebody else in there, and if those are the only 2 choices, I don't want Trump.
You should run for president.
I do not want Trump in there.
You should run for president.
I wish. Shit.
What's up you?
You'd be my only voter.
I bet you your friends who are watching this right now will vote for you.
Hey, can you tell who's watching this?
So what?
Can you tell who's watching this?
Well, on my side of this, no, I can't.
You can't? I can't either. I invited a bunch of people, but who knows?
But who cares? We're having a dope conversation. But who cares? We're having a dope conversation. So tell me this.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You're the guest.
No, I was going to ask you a question, but I'm the one who's being interviewed, so you should ask me.
This is not really an interview. This is a conversation.
Okay, well, conversate.
Well, What were you going to ask me, young lady?
I forgot. See, I'm so old. I really, really love uplifting young people, and I hope. I mean, I invited a lot of my young, because I work in theater where we have kids, right? So I hope they see me as a good role model, and I really try and support them. If I ever see a role that I think that is good for them, I'll send them the information right away. You know, hopefully they'll be able to audition or submit for it. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how theater is in North Carolina. That's where you're at, right? If they
Yeah.
have kids in the theaters, or if they have it
Oh,
separate,
absolutely. Absolutely. You see, I would like to take this opportunity to shout out Spring Theater again because they have a wonderful children's program. That's Spring Theater over in Winston-Salem. Also, Community Theater of Greensboro, they have a dope theater program for kids. So does Creative Greensboro, formerly known as the Drama Center. They have a great program for kids. The Little Theater of Winston-Salem, they have a great program for kids. Um, all of these programs I have worked with, except for the Community Theater of Greensboro. Um, St. Glass Playhouse in Winston-Salem will bring a kid on stage and make them to a star. There is theater for young people that that the University of North Carolina in Greensboro does. I put up a kids play called Battle of the Books. Yeah,
that's what I saw. Battle of the Books. That's actually an organization, right?
I know that. Yeah,
Okay.
I just cleverly named it that to kind of like point to the organization.
Is it because it's so white?
What?
I was I was asked to, because okay, so this is not my job. This is what I do for fun. If I could make a living off of doing the acting thing and stuff, I would do it in a heartbeat. But I can't. So I have another job, which is I'm a librarian at a charter school here in Watsonville, a bilingual librarian. So um, I was asked by another librarian in the district if I wanted to participate in Battle of the Books. So I was looking into Battle of Books, and it was just so white to me. Like there was no books written by people of color or about people of color. It was mostly white, 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 white. And I just like, no, I can't do that. Sorry.
So my play Battle of the Books was conceptualized by a black man. Boom, pow. It has a black cast: Amani Morris, John Black, Sierra Smith, Daphne Trevathan, Prophet Jones. Shout out to all of them. They did their thing. I was so proud when we put it up. It's on YouTube, by the way. It's on YouTube. It can be seen on YouTube. Type in Battle of the Books by Adrian Dion Quarles. Um, and all of the stories that are in it were written by black kids, except for one little dog story and one story where called About Me. Those were written by young white girls, but everything else, black hand,
Good, good,
a
good.
black hand.
We need more of that. Yeah. My young friend over here who's a playwright, his name is Enrique Munoz. Shout out to Enrique. I forgot to write him that I was on this thing. Anyways, he's working so hard. Anyways, he wrote a play for my school. I asked him, because the teacher came up to me, right? And he said, Jovita, do you know of a play that we can use, for, junior high? Because I work in a K-8 school for our 7th and 8th graders. Do you know any play? And I go, well, look up Luis Valdez. He has some actos. They're short, you probably like one. So the next time he comes in, I go, well, did you find the book I asked you to go find in the library? Because I don't have it in my library. You have to go to the public library and get it. And he said, no, I haven't had time. And I go, well, you know what? I have a friend who's a playwright. Let me ask him, if he knows of anybody who has a play for young kids, right? And so I asked him. He goes, well, tell him I'll write him something. Tell him I'll write him something. And I go, just ask him what he wants it to be about. And I said, are you sure? He goes, yeah, I tell him I'll write him something. So I said, okay. So I asked the teacher, okay, what do you want it to be about? And he goes, well, let's do immigration. That's a big thing right now. Let's do immigration. And I go, oh, okay, I'll ask him. I don't know if he can. Let me ask him. So he said, okay. So he sat down and he wrote a play like in maybe a week. He had me a rough draft, right? So I read it and I was crying. I was crying. I'm like, oh my God, you did a beautiful thing. This play has to get out there. And so I showed it to the teacher and he goes, oh my God. He goes, this is a great play. And he goes, this is the rough draft. I go, yeah, he'll clean it up. He goes, okay. And so he did it. And it was just a little one act play, right? And it's called Dear Kitty, Querida Ana. And it's about a family who immigrated to the United States from El Salvador. And they had to leave their country because, the gangs killed his wife. And so they came and they landed in Watsonville and were neighbors and friends with another family. And the little girls became friends. Anna and Kitty became friends, and they would write diaries to each other, right? Their parents gave them a diary, teacher gave them a diary to start learning. One little girl special ed, the other one's very intelligent. The one that's from El Salvador is very intelligent. Um, anyways, so ice, you know what ice is?
Yes, I know. You must think I have. You must think I live up under a rock or something.
I don't know. I don't know how things are in North Carolina. I only live in California.
Excuse me. We're a battleground state. Okay, so we know about ice up in here.
Okay,
You
so
put it in your drink and it gets colder. Of course, I know about ice.
so ice
Oh,
comes
okay, I know what ice is. I
and
know what
takes his family and locks the kids in cages like they're doing now, like they have now, right? So in the end, the little boy, Kitty's brother, goes crazy, right? Because he's locked in the concentration camp for so long, and the little girl dies in there. And so it's really it's such a great play, and that's the one that got chose to be in the Fringe Festival here in San Francisco, and yeah, it's a play that has to be heard and be out there and produced right. And so I'm trying to promote that as well.
Um, yeah, that does sound like a great play to do because see, one thing I learned about theater is very great at education. You know, you can stand up there and talk about, you can stand up there and entertain and whatnot, but it's also educational. Like, say that play goes up, people are gonna learn a thing or two about the experiences of the kids who have been in those cages at the border.
Who are still in the
What if
cages?
somebody
Not only at the border, Adrian.
what?
Not only at the border. They're in different places.
So I say what, and I'm like, what if during Nazi Germany during the Holocaust, people were more proactive about informing people about what was going on with the Jews and with the Jewish people there, right? Would it have
Right.
been would it have been that effective? So yeah, theater is good for education.
It is. It is. Entertainment and education, yes.
So I ask you this: you mentioned earlier that you were part of a group that involved singing and dancing, right?
I sing. I have a permanent guitarist, but then he kind of went off and got married and started having kids. So then he got too busy, right? So now I call whoever I can find, whoever. I have another friend who plays guitar, and I joined a band, like it's a bunch of white old men, right? And I'm the only color in there. Besides the drummer. The drummer was Latino too. But yeah. But then they kind of dismantled because of COVID. So we haven't rehearsed in a long time. But I love singing, so I do sing.
Have you been in musicals?
Let the Eagle Fly, where I played Dolores Huerta, was a musical, but I am not a trained singer. Like I have never taken really classes. I just sing.
I mean, I've been in church choirs my entire life, and I've been in a couple of chorus classes, but I've been in musicals as well. So you haven't. So you've only
But
done one.
choir classes, I mean, to me, choir classes is like a like choir. That's like you're learning, right?
I mean, even if you're on the choir and you suck, they're not going to kick you out of the choir because it's the church.
I've never heard a choir suck though. They're so beautiful.
I have.
Really?
Okay, so the choir like didn't suck, but it was a choir in a white church singing a black church song.
Maybe that would suck.
In the white church, in the black church, it's Lord Almighty, Lord Almighty, Lord Almighty. But in the white church, it was Lord, you're mighty.
Oh my God, that's
Lord, you're mighty.
okay. Yeah, that sucks. Anyways,
That was a joyful noise.
I started singing, you know, in the closet to my kids and stuff. And then my friend came over with his guitar one night, and we had like a little bonfire out here with other co-workers. And he goes, "Hey, can you sing a song?" And I'm like, "Heck, I could sing." I thought I could do anything, right? And so he started playing the song, and he goes, "Oh, you can sing?" And I go, "Yeah, I can sing." So then we started rehearsing, and his things were because he lived a lot of like he did the Peace Corps. He was a white guy, but he did the Peace Corps, and he lived in South American countries for, you know, several years, in Africa for a couple of years. And so he was really worldly, you know. He knew a lot of different musical styles. So we started doing a lot of songs from South America, a lot of like revolution songs that they had, and then jazz, a lot of jazz. And then he had to quit because he got married and started having kids. So now I just, like I said, sing whenever I can. And a friend requested that I sing for the Watsonville Film Fest because my town is a little tiny town, but we have a film festival. And hopefully one day, Adrian, you'll make a film of one of your plays and we can have it here. We can show it here. Anyway, so she asked for Dia de los Muertos to sing a song for her mom, who has passed away several years ago. So I told her, okay, I was going to learn the song. Just let me find a guitarist.
I just want to say that I did co-write two short films.
Well, submit them to the play. They might get chosen. You never know.
I might have to talk to.
But I think maybe like this Aprender, because we're more like Latino-based film festival. So maybe right. Aprender Espanol. Or yeah.
So you think that I should do a film version of Aprender Espanol and submit it?
Yeah.
Only if you will be Rachel again.
I'll be Rachel. I'll be Juana. I'll be I'll be whoever you want me to be. Teresa.
I make you Juana just so you quit saying that you're old.
So yeah, I would commit to that.
Okay.
As long as it happens during the summer.
So what?
As long as it happens during the summer, where I can go to North Carolina. I have summer vacation because I work at a school.
Right.
So I have like a long summer vacation where I can take off and do something.
Oh, you got my creative juices flowing right now. Because you know half the cast is in North Carolina. I'm in North Carolina. Miss Angie is, Tia is, Rick is, Stephen is.
Yeah,
just 4 of y'all are just. There's one in New York. You know, Orlando could come down from New York. You and Carolina are both in California. Chris is in Arizona.
Mexico.
Yeah, Luisa is in Mexico. So it can be done.
You can always invite them, and then if you have to recast, then you recast.
I'm not recasting. I want to keep y'all. See, this is the beautiful thing about being a writer, director, and producer of your own joint. You get to call the shots. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here like, ah, man, I'm the boss. Yeah.
You need to meet my friend Henry. I think he would be inspired. I think he would be inspired by you.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Like you said.
he's trying to get his work out there also, you know, like maybe you guys can help each other or something. I don't know.
Well, so this is how I've gotten to the point. You know, these days I'll be finding myself saying, yo, I remember when I was just out here trying to figure out how to get my foot in the door in the theater. Now I'm out here putting out my own stuff. Um,
But wouldn't
first,
you like a
first,
big theater to pick it up?
so what?
Wouldn't you like a big theater to pick it up and do your play?
Yes and no. Yes, because you know a big theater will pick it up. There'll be more notoriety and whatnot. But no, because that'll mean that I cannot direct it, and that'll probably end up meaning that I cannot act in it. If it's a
Why?
play that if
You
it's a
can't put that in your contract?
true, I could do that. But if a big theater ever calls me to the table and wants to produce my work and stuff, I'll be more than happy to sit down and talk.
Cool.
But like I said earlier, I used to be shy like you were.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be out here searching and looking for affirmation and whatnot. But the closer I got to God, and the more that I started searching for who I am, and the more theater that I've done. I mean, I remember once in 2017 that I shot two films one weekend and did a show the following weekend and went into another show after that, into another show after that, to another show after that.
So you make your living doing this. You don't have
No,
another side job
no, I
like I
wish I
do?
made my living doing this, but I don't. I have gotten paid though. Now my job, my quote unquote real job is I'm an assistant teacher.
Okay.
But
I used to do that too.
yeah, it's not too far fetched from theater because you have to be theatrical to maintain the attention of these kids.
Yep, that's why I love working in the library because when I'm reading a book, I could do whatever I want, you know?
You sure can. But tell your friend, main thing is he has to believe in himself and be willing to market himself in multiple places, right?
Right.
Like I'm a black playwright. I put up black stories. This story is our story is very Hispanic flavored, but you know how I put this. The black element is there. It's basically talking about black and brown relationships. My point is, while I do that, while I do that, I've also done plays where non-traditional casting was necessary. I played roles that were originally written for white people.
Good. I'm glad that happens. It's barely starting to happen over here, I'm thinking. And then
What?
it's barely going to start to happen over here more, I think, because the whole movement, you know, now that COVID hit, everything can change. There's possibilities now, right? Theaters have been closed so long, maybe they'll open up to people of color, you know?
Personally, I'm hoping that those Mexican plays that you were talking about get exposed to a wider audience because I didn't know anything about them, but I'm sure that the theater world at large could stand to learn about them and start putting them up.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Things could change because right now, you know, before COVID, they weren't being looked at, they weren't being asked for. But now, because of COVID, I think, and the theaters being closed down for so long, I'm hearing more talk and more, there's more of a movement to be more accepting of plays of people of color by people of color, who have to have performers who are people of color. That whole movement that's going on. Is it the We See You or something like that movement? Have you heard?
I don't know. I just know that please, please, please don't do any plays that are about people of color and all the actors in it are people of no color.
Yeah, well, I told you about that one African American man. I don't remember his name, who thought I was black, because I have an older it was a while ago. I have an older headshot where my hair's curlier, right? This is kind of curly, wavy, right? But curlier all over. And when I went in and he goes, I want to give you that part. He goes, are you black? And I said, no, but I'm flattered that you think so. I said, I'm honored, that you think I am. He goes, oh, I thought you were like a lighter skin black, like Lena Horne. And I'm like, no, I go, no, I'm not, sorry. But I, there are black Latinos, so I know I have black in me.
So what?
I know I have black in me.
Where?
Somewhere in my genes, somewhere in my genealogy.
So you got black genes?
Yeah.
Okay, well, shoot. Ancestry.com. I mean, I took Ancestry.com and found out that.
You know what? I always wanted to do that, but my daughter said, don't do it. I said, why? And she said, because they use that information, or they use your DNA for other things. She goes, don't do it. So I don't.
Okay, I'll do African Ancestry. Shoot. Well, I already did Ancestry.com. So, Jovita, as we start to wrap this up, what does the future hold for you?
The future holds for me. I hope this new theater company takes off, and I hope my friend has some success, and I hope my new friend Adrian has more success. I'm Even though you say I'm not old, I am old. So there's not a lot of roles for older women, especially older Latina women. So I'm hoping that the theater will change. Yeah, and be more inclusive of people of color and of older people. That's all.
I just want to say real quick to Mike Burke, Randy Morris, if you're watching this, anybody who has heard me whining and moaning saying, I'm old over the years, I now get how bad you want to go outside my head. Because this woman right here, who is, I'm not going to disclose your age unless you want to.
I'm 57.
So what?
I'm okay with that. I'm 57. I'll be 58 in December.
Exactly. She don't even look it, does she? She tripping. You tripping.
Thank you. I think I look good, but I am old. I'm not fooling myself.
Old. Yo, if it makes you feel any better, the last woman who I made out with was 52.
Okay. TMI.
I'm just saying, 50 looks different these days.
That's right. 50 is the new 40.
No, 50 is the new 30. Again, teenagers spraying gray in their hair.
Yeah, that's true.
So, real quick before we go, what was it that drew you to Aprender Espanol, and sell it to your friends real quick?
I just like that it was a play written by a person of color, a young person of color, who is trying to tell a story maybe has never been exposed to Latino life or families, but is doing his best to represent us in a way that is pretty realistic, in my opinion. Um, and I can't give any more away about the play because then you'll get mad at me. But come and see it.
I'm not gonna fire you.
Was that good, Adrian?
Oh yeah, that was great. I'll just say this.
How many Latinos have you had on your show again?
How many Latinos have I had on my show? I've had all y'all from the cast except for
Okay.
Carolina and Chris.
Okay, cool. I didn't know that,
Yeah.
or I would have watched them. I would have.
Well, it's all good. I mean, I look at it like this. Personally, I look at Latinos. I look at y'all, and personally, I think that y'all are just, the part of the family tree that speaks Spanish. Um, when I worked at Walmart, everybody who was Latino who I worked with, who I encountered, were great to me. Except for one supervisor, yo, I wanted to strangle that dude. But other than that,
There's always one bad apple, right?
yeah. But other than that, everybody was great to me. I worked with the people I worked with were Cuban, Honduran, Puerto Rican, Mexican, El Salvadorian. All of them were like really great to me. I have a friend. This friend is the person this friend actually inspired me to start writing this, right?
Hmm.
A lot of what goes on between Resin and Juana is based off of what went on between me and this young lady. She's Nicaraguan. There have been times when she has exemplified that temper that y'all Latinas are known for while doing something really nice for me. Like she would see me walking on the side of the road, she would pick me up and give me a car and give me a ride and cuss me out while doing it because I did something to make her mad.
You're lucky she picked you up. Then I would not have.
I'm just saying that I've always seen kindness and caring in my relationships with like Latinos and Latinas. So I just I didn't feel it to be outside of my box. Well, it is outside my box, but outside of the realm of what I'm trying to do in theater by writing and presenting this, and allowing young actresses like yourself to come and shine.
Thank you. Thank you. I
Thank you.
am honored to be in their play.
I am honored to have you. So if there were other people who are watching this and wanting to see and wanting to gain access to your theatrical or performing services, how can they contact you?
I wish I could say I had a website, but I don't.
But you have an email, sure. You have
Yeah,
an
it's yes, I do. It's jvmolina3 at live.com. That's the one I use for acting.
okay. And do you have any other social media besides Facebook?
I Well, it's a more everything's more personal. It's not like really my acting, even though I do post stuff from when I'm acting. I don't have like an official acting Facebook page or official acting IG account. So on Instagram, it's gonna be Creaciones por Vida, which is my little cottage crafting company.
You gotta spell that out.
CreacionPorVida, por vida, Creaciones por Vida. That means creations for life.
Mm-hmm.
And then Facebook is just my name, Jovita Molina. And then my library page is Jovita la más bonita. That's what the kids
Okay,
call me.
and I would like to say for Jovita's friends who are watching this, my email is adq4christ@gmail.com. My Twitter is Avenue ADQ_85. My Instagram is Dion Chocolate Guy 85. And you can see my name on this. If you can't see it, then you really need to get yourself, you need to go upside your own head 2 times.
Okay, I was looking for you on Instagram, but I didn't know what your name was. So it's Dion what?
Dion Chocolate God 85.
Say that one more time.
Dion, my middle name. Chocolate, because I'm chocolate. God, because it says in Psalm 82:6, I say you are gods, you are children of the Most High, with a lowercase g. 85, because that is the year I was born in, 1985.
I'm gonna have to look you up, Dion Chocolate God.
I guarantee if you just type my name that you already know me by, I'll come up.
I did. I typed Adrian though, not Dion.
Do you know how many Adrians are in this world?
Lots. I have one good actor friend who's Adrian.
Who?
Adrian Torres.
Dang, I thought you were talking about me.
Oh, sorry. I haven't seen your acting skills really yet.
Lord, she has not been paying attention during the readings.
Did I lose my part now?
No, you suck with me for a long time. But dang, I forgot why. Oh yeah. Another connection I have with Latinos is once a coworker of mine who's Puerto Rican said that Adrian's a Hispanic name.
Adrian. That's why I say I could call you Adrian because I like it. Kind of rolls off my tongue better, you know.
Would you rather call me Adrian than Adrian?
Adrian.
You may call me Adrian.
Thank you.
That makes me feel like I've been invited to the table.
Right, Adrian. You're part of the family now.
Also, I was born in September, which begins Hispanic Heritage Month, right?
Yeah, I don't like. Sorry, this is just my personal opinion. I don't like celebrating a group of people just for a month. I think they should be celebrated all the time. But I get why they do it, you know.
I don't like celebrating Black History Month.
You don't?
I'm like, yo, I'm making Black History all
year. Right, right. That's how I feel. But I do it at work if I'm told to do it. Otherwise, I don't do it.
Well, someone's peeking behind the curtain.
Yeah, my daughter. This used to be her room. They just moved out. That's why it's kind of empty in here.
I thought you moved in there because the color of the room corresponds with your shirt.
I didn't even notice that. No, it's turning into my craft room now. So again.
Oh, but yeah. Dang, I bet you we have a lot of similar views because, again, you're right. Why throw all of the history of a people into a month?
Right. I don't. Yeah, it's just not good.
However, I do know where Black History Month came from. Carl G. Woodson, who was the founder of Negro History Week, decided to put it in February because Black people already think about February because I think Abraham Lincoln's birthday is in February, something like that. So that's where it came from. But still, I celebrate being Black and I celebrate my ancestors and those who came before me year round.
And I will be celebrating my ancestors soon on Dia de los Muertos. I'll be having a big altar up in my house.
What in the world is that?
You don't know what an altar is?
I know what an altar is. What's dead? What you just said?
Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, they call it in English, which sounds
Oh, Day
terrible.
of the Dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
November 2nd is the last day of it.
The what?
Isn't November 2nd the last day of it?
Well, not really, but here in the United States, yes, but in like in Mexico, however long it takes you to get to where you need to go to, that's how long it lasts.
Got you.
So, I mean, it could last a week, 2 weeks. I leave my you could call it an altar, an altar, or an ofrenda, an offering, up for at least a week. I live in my grandparents' house, so I invite my grandparents back every year. But I also put other people from my family who have passed away on my ofrenda, on my altar.
In African spirituality, in African spirituality, um, what they do, I want to say we, because I'm more spiritual than religious,
Right.
but
Me too.
yeah, I like religion.
Not
I just
organized religion. Organized religion is just not good.
yeah, I'm more of a Christian because I believe in carrying myself the way Jesus did. But I'm not like trying to break my back to be at church every single Sunday. If that makes sense. Anyway,
Yep.
Jesus was dope. Anyway, um, like I was saying, I think the way African spirituality works is you say the name of your ancestors, pour a little out for them, and then say Ashe.
Ashe. I will ask my brother-in-law if he does that. I'm not sure if he
Brother-in-law
does.
black?
Pardon me?
Your brother-in-law black?
Yes. I have a nephew who's part blended Mexican and black.
That's cool. I mean, sure, that's great. I mean, if I didn't meet if I have not have met the incredibly dope young lady that I have met the other day, I'd probably be out here. Anyway, I'm talking too much about me. Is there anything else you would like to tell the world, Jovita?
No, but just to come to see your play if they can.
Our play, Jovita.
You're reading our play. Aprender Español.
Should I pronounce it Aprender Espanol or Aprender?
Aprender.
Is there any other words I'm getting wrong?
Don't get me going, Adrian. Adrian, don't get me going.
I thought you were going to call me Adrian.
Adrian, don't get me going, Adrian.
Well, I'm not talking about words in the script. I'm talking about words in
Oh,
general. I give myself A for effort.
yes. Aprender Español. Stay tuned.
Muchas gracias, Jovita.
Muy bien. De nada. Adiós.
Adiós. Vayan con Dios.
Igualmente.
I don't know what that means.
I mean, you too.
Oh. And everybody have a great night.